Okay, so just got back from Manning Park, Heather Trail. It was awesome. And what I thought I would do here is unpack my bag on camera just to go over everything that I brought. And the video log is partly for me and partly for anybody else who's interested. So let's get going. So there's the hat. I always bring some sort of a hat. The hiking pole, I only bring one because I like to have my other hand free for shooting with the camera or eating or drinking or whatever it is I want to do. And this has become so necessary because with a pack you're so top heavy that if you lose balance when you're not that strong, because I'm not that strong yet because I'm just getting back into it after 9 years, you can basically balance yourself and help yourself through that. The camera, which is now shooting me, but the camera gets carried right here. And right now I'm using these straps to hook them to some carabiners on my pack. So it hangs right here. So the camera is always ready to shoot whenever you're hiking. So when I first hiked the Juan de Fuca Trail back in, a long time ago, it was film days. I had my camera in my backpack, and every time I wanted a picture, I'd stop, take the pack off, and shoot. But it was film, so I only had so much film with me, so it wasn't so bad back in those days, because I budgeted 36 roll of film per day, and that's all I carried with me, so it worked out. Plus there's always the tripod shots you do at night at the beach. Speaking of tripod, I invested in this awesome tripod a while ago, and I bring it with me backpacking. It's 2 pounds. It's carbon fiber, not cheap, but does the trick. I have to say that I didn't use it a lot in Manning Park because I was hoping for some sunsets, but I wasn't in a location where I could get a great sunset and use a tripod because I was down in the forest in the bottom of the valley when I was camping or sleeping in my tent. But I did use it for videos, etc. And here, I carry this here for my pack. That's the Spot Messenger, keeping in touch with everybody. And we got backup water. Yeah, I'll get a real bottle sometime. One of those squishy ones. And this goes here because I didn't have room for it in my pack because, as you're going to discover in this video, I brought way too much shit. Rookie mistake. Even though, yes, I did the West Coast Trail, but that was 15 years ago. And it wasn't long after that I stopped backpacking. And then I decided I was going to get back into it in 2013. Brought this brand new Osprey pack, which is awesome. It is so much better than the pack I used to have. And I took it to Cathedral Lakes, and it was from the end of the shuttle to where we camped was like 2 kilometers. So 4 kilometers in total has been used before this trip. And in here, I believe I timed the water just right because, yep, it's empty. But this was not empty, so I did not actually run out of water. Get that down there. Get that down there, leave some room on the table for things. And so, here in the brain, well, this was probably not a great idea because there's just nowhere to keep it that's accessible. Yeah, I used it at nighttime when I was at camp. It doesn't fit in my bag in the front. So I don't know. It's light, but it's fragile and takes up space. So I don't know. A towel. Yeah, I don't know. I actually did bring a camp towel, microfleece or whatever it is, the first aid kit. I went through it with a fine-tooth comb before I left, bought new stuff. It's good. And that's supposed to be an electronics bag. Well, I made a home. That's for charging my phone, which I kept close to me because my GPS was on it, and I stopped way too often to check where am I because I'm getting tired. But I made it. So that one I used to charge the phone, and that's it for there. That's the part 1 of the brain. And here, here's the electronics bag. Oh yeah, I left in such a hurry I didn't properly put stuff in here. So in here, charger for my camera that runs off of the battery pack. Didn't need it. Not going to leave it at home in case I actually do run out of batteries on a longer trip. Sewing kit. Going to buy a new one of those. Dry bag, getting old, need to replace that. That's supposed to be an electronics bag. Cables for charging and a set of earbuds in a can that I did not use. Don't know about that in the future. It's light, but everything counts. The rain jacket. Well, this one's a bit heavy. It's a nice jacket. It's lined, it's comfortable, it's warm, but it doesn't pack up very well. So that's on the list of maybe things to get something lighter and packable. And the bin with everything, you name it, is in here. Personal stuff, you know, toothpaste. I have a mirror. Oh, there's my mouth guard. I'll need that tonight. You know, BO juice, spoons, forks, combs, matches. Although I have another place for matches, shampoo, the all-important hand sanitizer when you're camping, shaving. Yeah, tent repair sleeves. So yeah, this actually ends up being pretty heavy, but I'm not gonna leave it behind. And I could use a bag, but I think this is probably more secure. So that's it. So we'll get the brain off. I just learned that it was called the brain a while ago. I think it's kind of funny. Yeah, there it is. Oh no, I still got one thing done left. There's the brain. Just toss it there. Okay, I'm going to take a break for a minute. Get back to this. Okay, back to it. All right, the bag tipped over. This is the food bag. This is where I went really, really wrong. Yeah, let me open this up in a bit. We'll just keep going. In here, clothing. You know, an extra shirt, extra pair of shorts, an extra pair of socks, underwear, and a dry bag. I think I did pretty good with this. And pot. I mean, this is part of a whole pot set, but I plan on investing in a titanium pot. Save myself some weight and probably some space. And in here I got a lighter, cup, a bowl, which of course on my last breakfast I didn't wash because I got a dishwasher at home. And scrubby. So yeah, at least I left the whole pot set at home. The whole rest of it. That would have been dumb. And that is just, that was the right thing for the time. It was not that heavy. Water filter. This is an older Sweetwater, which is, I think, got bought out by probably MSR. It's not too heavy. It's good for a couple of people. I'm not going to upgrade it at this time. There's probably something lighter I could get, maybe. But I also want to be able to handle 2 or 3 people. The fleece. This really kept me warm. This is my older one. I didn't want to take my new one, just because I would get it dirty. Worked good. What I would really like is to replace this with a down, very light, not a very hot down, because I don't really go camping in super cold weather. But it would be nice because it packs down more and it's a bit lighter. This doesn't do too bad, but you can see there's some space that could be saved because I'm sure the down would pack up more. The fuel for my stove, little canister. The big question is, how much did I use in 3 nights and 4 days? I had this full up to the line. Oh, there's probably a third of it left. So this was not my sole source of fuel for a couple of reasons. One, because I wasn't sure it was enough, but more importantly, there's a risk of spilling this when you're dealing with it. And that would be rather a catastrophe. Somewhere, actually it's in an outside pocket I'll get to. There is another fuel can. It's not the MSR fuel bottle, so it does not fit the stove. Also, if I lost this lid, I'd be in big trouble too, because at one point I thought I did. It would still work in the stove, but I would have to put the fuel back in the other canister. And the other canister, like I say, is not an MSR brand. It won't work with the stove, but that's good. Oh, this was bad. 600 grams of trail mix that I never even opened. The pillow, it's light. but I sure would like a blow-up pillow. I think it'd be smaller and probably the same or less light. This also isn't very big, 11 by 19. Yeah, it was kind of thing, but it actually was, it did the job. I had a good night's sleep. And, oh, mosquitoes here too. Bugger off. This is my latest purchase. Another not weight-saving item. This is what, 780 grams. So it's less than 2 pounds, but it is so comfortable. It's an air mattress, insulated. So not only does it keep you comfy for a good night's sleep, it also helps insulate you because the bottom of your sleeping bag with your body pressure doesn't provide much insulation against the ground. So that was this year's purchase. Great choice, even though it's heavy. I'm not going to change my mind on that. That sleeping bag, yeah, in the stuff sack, which I bought for the West Coast Trail and now is delaminating. So this is probably the last time it's going to be used. But it's a synthetic bag, and this is as much as I could compress it. And I don't know how heavy that is. It's probably only 3 pounds, so it's not terribly heavy. It just takes up a lot of room in the pack. And it got frosty overnight, and I was a bit chilly, but I was not wearing long johns. And the ratings on sleeping bags, I understand, for the temperature rating, they assume you're wearing, like you're not naked, because there are people who sleep pretty much naked. I'm not going to name any of them. And this stuffed in here so I could ease access with rain pants. It didn't rain. Well, it's not entirely true. It did rain for a few minutes, but this provided an extra layer to keep me warm because it was really cold. It got frosty one night, so I did use those. Probably could get something. No. Or lighter. So funny story on those is I mentioned earlier I went to Cathedral Lake in 2013. I stuck them in this pack, same spot, got home, never unpacked it, put the pack away, and I spent the next 9 years thinking I lost them. Every time I went to use them, I kept looking for them. It's like, nope. So I go to pack for this trip, and they're there. All right, so what's in here? This is the mesh thing here. Oh, I can just get it out. That's the pack rain cover. Treated with silicone before I left. That's cool. So then here we have reading material. Just a lightweight, good book. The other fuel can. Might be cheap Chinese crap, but I got a deal on it. Sometimes you pay for the deals in the long run, but if something happens to this, I spill it or I lose the cap, I can, because the stove becomes the cap when it's running, so that's fine. And the tent pegs at the last minute I realized I hadn't put in the bag. Headlamp, charger, battery bank. I used that one to charge the spot, and the other one you saw there I used to charge the phone. I don't know, just kind of my system. Oh, well, I really had a long way to go to find the tent pole bag, which I did not put with the tent. Sunscreen, that was important in this trip. TP, of course. No shortage of that. BC Parks doesn't provide TP on the backpack country. Glasses cases. My trekking pants, tear-offs. I did hike one day on them. It was really windy and cold, and then when the bugs came out, it was handy. They didn't bite my legs. So these are Columbia. They're lightweight. Got them really dirty, dusty. Good job on those. Another jacket, but this one should be the packable rain thing, but this is just water resistant, and it was really comfy when it was warmer, and I wanted protection from bugs. Rope. I'll find a better system for that. So that's those. Yeah, I had a water bottle stuffed in here. I had another Nalgene bottle stuffed here because it didn't fit inside. Oh, I mentioned that earlier. The bear spray. Ready to go, right in my hip. We used to carry it on the back of the backpack, and we'd hike as a team so that if we needed a bear spray, I'm going to have to take a break for a minute. Okay, now where was I? Ah, the pack. Oh yes, all these goodies down here. Bug spray, yeah, in the mountains. That's super important. More hand sanitizer. Never have enough of that. Then a way to wash in the crapper. What my doctor used to refer as hiker candy. No, it's not drugs. It's ibuprofen. Energy bar that I did not eat. It's all squished. It's getting hot on the way out. And a multi-tool spare carabiner. Oh, okay. Forgot about that. The other side here. Yeah, I gotta find a bit. I don't think that's a great spot for it. I don't really need it while I'm hiking. Matches. I think I just picked that up because I saw it on the ground when I was leaving. Whistle, compass, stupid flashlight. It did work. It just irritatingly went blinky on me and did weird shit. More matches. Oh, those I put in there. And a lighter. Yeah, those will be not that useful without being in a paper bag, not a paper bag, a plastic bag. Noted for next time. Okay. Oh, this was good. The MEC ultralight chair. Yeah, it's 2 pounds and a little bit, but it's so comfy. I always missed when I was backpacking having somewhere comfortable to sit, and this was worth the 2 pounds of extra weight. Do I think I'd bring it on something grueling like the West Coast Trail? Yeah, sadly not. But for hikes, not so hard. Yeah, I'm gonna keep bringing that along. It was another one of my latest purchases this year. Now, the tent. I used to always carry the tent on the outside because I had a smaller pack and it didn't fit inside. And, well, it did fit inside. But the main reason I wanted it on the outside or accessible before anything else is because if it's raining, the first thing I want to do is set up my tent and then go in my tent and organize my stuff. And the same thing when I'm packing up. If it's raining in the morning when I go, I want to do my stuff sacks and deflate my air mattress and just get everything packed into the backpack inside the shelter of the tent. And then the last thing I do in the rain is bundle up the tent and hook it to the outside and off we go. So this pack, I don't know if maybe an old pack did too. You can open it on the bottom and put stuff in here. Oh, you caught me in this one. Yeah, I did bring some cider with me for the first night after an easy hike. I didn't squish the can, but the other one I squished. I probably have too much of this. My camping permit's in here, spare plastic bags, the famous orange garbage bag, useful for so many things that I always bring. Candle. Oh, and there's some bandages in here that weren't in my first aid kit, so I have more than that. The one time years ago when I was blistered up, I went through so many bandages and what's that stuff? That felty stuff you put on your blisters. I have that too. Whatever that is, furry stuff. Anyways. Oh, that was for carrying my bag of chips. Stupid luxury, but I hung this off the back of my pack with a bag of chips in there so they wouldn't get crushed so I could have a luxury meal at the first night. That was cool. More toilet paper. Rope that I hastily put back in the pack because I was getting hot and was ready to go. This I brought along. I won't bring it again this much because I was cutting this up to for my tent. But anyways, that's light. Garbage. The rope in case I need. Usually I'd use that for a bear cache. Hoist that thing up. That bag there is designed to be hoisted up in the tree or whatever. And we have the tent footprint. And I mentioned at the beginning I had a real towel. This is one of them, I don't know what they're called. It's a hiking towel that you buy at MEC. Really cool. Absorbs a lot of water and dries out nicely. And last but not least, the tent. What we have here is a North Face Stormbreak 1 person tent. So it fits nicely. It's a nice size. It's just over 3 pounds. So you could get a lighter one-man tent, but it's a lot more money. This tent was a really good value for the money. Like at $200 retail. Doesn't include the footprint, of course. Very solid tent. Gets good reviews, especially for the money. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, so now I have a choice. I got a 1-man, a 2-man, and a 3-man tent. I'm not sure how good the 2-man tent is. I'll have to check it out, but wasn't going to use it this time. So that is that. Now, second, where I'll go through my food. Okay, the food situation. Well, granola, that was good, but don't think I'm going to bring these hard-sided containers anymore because after I'm done with them, they don't press down. But I took these on the West Coast Trail. I had like 3 of them. Oh, but they went together when I started. Yeah, when I had a lot of them, but this time I only had the one. Had a water bottle, that was handy. Use this for my day hike. Ended up in the food thing because I just needed to have it somewhere when it was time to go and it was hot and the bugs were getting me. Yeah, garbage bag, or will be a garbage bag. Garbage. The stove ended up in here. MSR Whisper Light. Not as light as those ones that use the propane pre-filled canisters, but I like that I don't have to throw any of those cans out. I suppose they are recyclable. Collapsible water bar for going to the creek to pump water. Alpine Air Forever Young mac and cheese. Not bad. That was one of my primary dinners. These Idahoan mashed potatoes are awesome. When I used to hike in a group, we used to share those dinners, and they weren't quite enough. So we would have that between us, and then we'd cook one of these or just something to fill us up a little more. So that was a mistake I made. I brought one for each night. I never touched them. Skim milk for my granola. Yeah, I don't know if I should put this in a bag. I'll figure that out. This was a luxury item. I managed to get 2 smoky buns in there and inside my pack so they didn't get squished. And the smoky meat, I ate them, right away, obviously, because they go bad. I found these 12-grain bagels, keep really well on the trail, and I butter them in the morning because I have butter with me. And I have them for lunch along the way. I don't know why there's 2 of them left. I brought one for each day. I guess the one day I was hiking all day, I didn't even have lunch. I just kept downing trail mix. Gatorade powder for when the water sucks, plus it's always good to have Gatorade. If you're sweating a lot, replace your electrolytes. Another Ziploc bag. There's my matches in a Ziploc bag for the stove. Of course I used a lighter. I never actually used any matches. These I never planned to eat. They were kind of a backup. These Mr. Noodles, I used to bring them along just in case I needed it. It's kind of emergency food. Another dry sack bag, never used that. Alpine Air Rustic 3-cheese sausage lasagna. Well, that was good. And I ate the whole thing. Even though it says 2 servings. But that was it. I was full. None of this, whatever. And this is Sidekicks. If you buy food like this at the grocery store to eat on the trail, 2 things. Like, these stoves are terrible for simmering, so if it asks you to simmer it, it's really a no-go. If it asks for milk, you notice I have skim milk, but skim milk is okay with a granola, but it really sucks if you get one of these like creamy garlic Raffaellos, one of the ones I like. it doesn't taste right with skim milk. So this one uses water and doesn't require simmering. That's my backup food in case I need to eat dinner my last day. So that was the plan with that. More of those Idahoans. Those are freaking awesome. More garbage. Mustard for my smoky. Another one of those. Maybe I didn't need two. Napkins because my nose was runny. The garbage chip bag. A bell. Yeah, this is supposed to be hanging in my pack. And it's loud. So yeah. Ketchup thingies. The one I didn't use for the smokies. What else is in here? Yeah, I brought too much Gatorade because I drank a lot of water. And another luxury item I brought besides the potato chips was Hawkins cheesies. And I'm the only one who brings these on hikes. I've seen videos of people bringing these on the Juan-de-Fuca trail. So they're good. A little bit of salt. And they can handle being crushed. But I didn't eat them. Truth is, I had two of them. So, and another Idahoan. This is all the food that I had left. I did eat, a little tiny bit of granola I didn't eat on the last morning. I ate all the Quaker instant cereal. I ate the 2 dry dinners. Yeah. So that covers it. Now I have to put this all back together and put it all away. I don't know when I'm going to get out again next. But till next time, ciao.